to pick up with number 7 on activity 9-4, which is about rotations. We're going to have to go to GeoGebra. You can do this on a graphing calculator. The TI Inspires, but we don't have access to those for the summer. If you get access to them and want me to do a video to show you how to do it, let me know, because I do have the software on my computer and I can show you how to do it. Well, I'll have to learn how to do it first, but then I can show you how to do it. So go to, all I did was go to a Google. I just went to Google. I typed in GeoGebra. GeoGebra. The first thing that pops up is this. I guess it'll take you to the same site, but I just want to go to a page that's set up to do geometry. So any of these will get you there. The only difference is that this one's going to be set up to do geometry, and so it's not going to be on graph paper. It doesn't have the X and Y axis there. Of course, you can turn all that on, but anyway, you just click on the geometry and it takes you to, like I said, a geometry page, a nice blank piece of paper. It's set up for the geometry tools, and we're going to do what it says to do. It says use geometry software to explore rotations. First, use the software to draw a quadrilateral. A quadrilateral is a polygon. You know that from previous courses. So I'm going to click on the polygon. Quadrilateral has 4 sides. So I'm just going to click 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, there's me a quadrilateral. Then plot a point P that will serve as the center of rotation. All right, so they told me to do P. They didn't tell me where to put P. It just is going to be the center of rotation. So I'm going to click point and I'm going to put a point P. Now, I can rename it if you right click on that, and or maybe you left click. Let's go to the pointer and then left click. Yes. And you can change the label. I want that to be P. That completely does not matter, but anyway, so quadrilateral ABCD, and you can turn all these off if the picture that you see in the Springboard book doesn't have any of them labeled, but I like them labeled. But just in case you want to, this show hide label. So select that option and then click on the letter and it goes off. Click on it again, it comes back on. Okay, so anyway, it says to then plot a point P that will serve as a center of rotation. Use the software to rotate the quadrilateral 120 degrees counterclockwise. Okay, so I've got the quadrilateral, I've got the point P, I've got my directions on how I'm going to rotate it. I'm going to come down here under the transform heading, and I'm going to select rotate about a point. When you have that selected, it tells you that you need to do 2 things. You need to pick what shape is going to be rotated. So I'm going to click on the shape, and then you click the point that it's going to be rotated about. So you pick that point, and as soon as you pick the 2 things that you're going to rotate and the center of rotation, this angle measure thing pops up. They told us to do 120 degrees, and they said counterclockwise, and counterclockwise is already selected. You press OK, and you see the rotation. Now, it went 120 degrees. What was that? Counterclockwise. So it went this way. So pick point B, whatever. And remember, this is like the center of the circle. So I'll even show you the circle. I can do a circle because I have the center of the circle and any point that you want to pick. See point B right there? B, the circle goes from here and it goes around until it gets to B prime. You want to see A, where A would map. Move your circle to point A. and then check the circle and A prime is on it. I think I clicked, so it's gonna stay there. I can delete it. Whoops. I need to undo that. And then click on this one, delete it, and do the same thing again. Click the center of the circle. What other point would you like to see? How about point D? You can see that it goes through D and it goes through D prime. So that means that D would map onto D prime. And it is, let's go ahead and do that one. And then I'm going to show you the 120 degrees. I'm going to do a line segment from here to here and from here to here, because that's the pre-image and that's the image. And now I'm going to measure the angle, and I'm going to measure this angle, and it shows that it's 120 degrees. So I can hide that point, which was the same as our rotation. And that 120 degrees would show up if I did it from A to the center. Well, let's just do it. Let's do a line segment from A to the center, and then from the center to A prime. And now let's measure the angle. And it shows you that it's 120 degrees. So I think it says choose a point on the pre-image and the corresponding point. Use the software to measure the distance of each point. Okay, so we've done this. I'm going to undo some stuff. Okay, so we measured the angle. They want us to actually measure the line segment. So let me go to measure, and I want a distance. So I'm going to do that one and that one. They're both 2.6. What did we find out? We found out that they were the same. That was number 8. Number 9, use the software to measure the angle. We did that already. We found that it was 120 degrees. So we already did number 9. Use the software to change the shape of the quadrilateral by dragging one or more of the points that form the quadrilateral. Do the results change? Can I drag the point? Oh, let me put it on that. Can I drag? Yeah. So if I drag this point, or I drag this point, or what happens if I drag this point? That's the one we measured. So as I drag it, notice what happens. The 120 degrees remains the same, and the distance between the center and that point of that's on the corresponding points, those distances stay the same. Now that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. That's even might even be more cool than my patty paper. So anyway, that finishes up this section. I've got one last section to teach. Oh, two sections to teach. So okay, we'll get 2 more videos done.